think it was very enriching. I was very honored to be a respected group of people from HP with Savi and Avi, which has a long experience in the industry, and Fried from Materialize. So this is a very respected group of people. And yeah, I think we're just in the beginning, so it's going to be very interesting to see where it's going. So I would say Markforged in general is focused on bringing industrial production to the point of need, and we do it through three key segments. The first one is on the factory floor, MRO, digitization of inventory, etc. The second one is machine builders, and the third one is regulated part production. And here at the show today, we have actually all of them. We have some examples of real MRO applications, more and more metal parts that have been printed with composites, but we also have high volume production parts with metal that goes into cars already. I think for us at the additive manufacturing, we are now going to a different phase. So if in the last few decades we were more around the prototyping side, now the industry is moving more and more into the factory floor. And I think we're trying to cross the chasm here. Until now it was more the early adopters, people that are willing to take a little bit more risk and try and learn on their own, and they like technology. Now in order to go to the mass production, we need to bring the solutions to be very reliable, very repeatable, very easy to use. And I think this is the direction that all of us as the industry to try to cross this chasm into the factory floor. I think it's tough days, but it's not in additive. I think the geopolitical situation, the cost of capital is making very tough to buy capital equipment, even outside of additive. So we feel the pressure as well. But with that, there was a lot of investment, billions of dollars in R&D the last few years. There are great technologies that are now maturing, and people can really utilize them to answer more and more applications. So while it is tough from, I would say, the geopolitical capital situation, the future looks very, very promising. We need to be patient, take it one step at a time, and bring these amazing innovations into the world now. And I do believe we're going to see interesting growth with that. Yeah, I would say when I go out to meet with customers, there are two areas which I'm most excited about. The first one is what you see, what they're doing with the solution. They start with one or two or three applications that were certified in order to create the return on investment for the solution. But when you go back to the floor a few months after, you see so many more parts and so many more applications, and the excitement that they have in adoption of the solution. And I would say the second area that we are hearing is that we're finally moving from this push to pull. We see customers that are willing to adopt faster the solution, faster even than what we thought initially. So if we were under the perception it's going to go through a pace of a few printers in a few facilities every few months, they are moving faster than even what we thought. Oh, I think again that's the technology. I think the solution is finally in a stage which is very easy to use. It's very reliable, very repeatable, and there's a lot of case studies that you can compare. So for example, for us, we have about 15,000 active printers out there with many case studies being produced every day. So if you're in packaging, or if you're in automotive, or if you're in an aerospace application, we can already show you examples of some of your competitors or colleagues in the space which are doing the same. So it's easier to go through the barrier of adoption in the first phase. Oh yes, 100%. So I would say in the old days, especially when you look on desktop or hobbyist solution, the capital investment is not big. You can try with it, it's going to break, you're going to use it more or less, it doesn't really matter, okay? When you go into heavier industrial grade solutions, they are much more expensive, so you need to prove the ROI. You need to make sure that you have processes across the organization to be able to use the solution on a daily basis. You need to have the right authorities from IT and security perspective to make sure there is no problems with that. So I think it's much more complex to set a solution. It takes a little bit longer, the sales cycle is longer, but once you do it correctly, the adoption and utilization is much higher. So I went to see customers of ours, for example, most recently in the car racing industry. They have printers which is being utilized 97% of the time, including everything, including maintenance, etc. And they have over 100 printed parts in a race car. Okay, we're talking about real deal adoption, and it's a thing because they're looking at it as a solution versus just a printer for here and there prints. Yeah, I think we most recently released 3 new hardware platforms. It's the FX10, the FX20, and the PX100. Each one of them has a little bit different capabilities, but it's a wide range of bigger capabilities that we can do. I think now the ask is for us to add more and more materials into it to ensure that our customers can really ensure, again, that our customers can really enjoy the full potential of this solution, right? For example, with FX20, initially it was released with ULTEM, which is already certified for aerospace, but now we released another material, which is called Vega. Vega is PEC-based material with chopped carbon fiber, which is extremely light, extremely strong, chemical resistancy, so it's really, really good for aerospace applications, and we see increased adoption as a result. The PX100 is finally going out. It's going out initially with stainless steel capabilities, but soon after, our customers want us to add titanium. They want us to add tungsten carbide. So there's a lot of more materials so we can answer more applications. So I would say that one of the areas which I see as a blockage today is that when we go to the factory floor and the customers, yes, we want to digitize our MRO. They don't have the talent in-house to do the redesigns from design for manufacturing to design for additive manufacturing. Some of them, what they're doing surprisingly, is they are taking students, interns from universities nearby to do the CAD design for them so they can now use the parts again, but instead of buying it from the original OEM, now they are printing it in-house. So I think around talent perspective, we're going to see a lot of demand for designer for additive. And thankfully, the new generation of engineers is coming with these capabilities. So if 20, 30 years ago, a lot of universities did not have print farms and the additive capabilities, now every, I would say, distant plus university or college already have additive capabilities. So I do see this talent coming more and more into the industry, and they will change the adoption. Yes, I think we can help and increase the adoption and education. So for example, at Markforged, we have a solution which we call the Markforged University, which is helping people which has no knowledge to start printing and start designing into the additive world. With that, it's a longer journey versus younger engineers which are coming with additive in their state of mind already from the get-go. I think that in an event like this, when you see all the big players coming together, it gives a few points of collaboration. Collaboration between us, okay? So I think each one of us has a unique solution, and most of the time we don't compete, we are complementary. So when we can collaborate around it together, or in the development, or on the customer side, that's definitely beneficial, okay? The second, it's a great platform to release new technologies. A lot of us are working days and nights behind the scenes for years sometimes to develop a new technology. This is a great platform to release it to the world and get awareness to the new technology. And the third one, which is very important, I think you give awareness here and the ability for potential customers and prospects to touch the solution and see it and understand the differences and analyze what's a good solution for them and hopefully increase the adoption for all of us. I think Markforged is in a very interesting phase. We just finished a very aggressive R&D of a couple of years now. We invested close to $200 million internally and inorganically with acquisition and developing 3 new platforms. And it's very exciting to me to bring this now to the world and see how the customers are going to start utilizing them. Some of these printers are going to see their first ever time in the field during this year. So very exciting times.